everybody. This is Vince with Listings to Leads, and today we're going to be talking about all the ways you can use listings to leads to get more listings. Before we dive into that, I just want to kind of explain to you at a high level what we do. We're obviously in real estate advertising, marketing, and lead capture. We have a strong focus on social media integration. I'll show you what that looks like inside. We have a whole list of tools to help market listings, to help market open houses, but also we have a whole stack of tools to help you get more listings. So whether you have listings or you don't have listings, there are tools here for you to help you at whatever stage of the business you're in. But today we're really focused on capturing more listings. So let's kind of log in and see what we can do here. When we look at the system, there's really two areas that I want everybody to sort of concentrate on. And this is, remember, this is to get listings. So to get listings, you should actually use some of the tools that are designed to market listings. The other area is ads on Facebook. We'll show you that, Facebook and Instagram. And then we've also got landing pages, right? And landing pages, obviously home valuation landing page is something that you would want to use for your various areas. We're going to get into the details of these three sections in just a moment, okay? But I just definitely right off the bat want you to know that you've got tools in the listing section, in the landing page section, and in the ad section, all with multiple ways of capturing listing leads. Let's start on the listings page. Because I want to definitely start with the number one tool, right? So as I mentioned, there are three sections to get listing leads, but I'm going to show you the most powerful tool first, right? And if you go in our mastermind group here, which is on Facebook, you will see that our clients are talking about this letter all the time, just all the time, because it's a great way of getting more listings. So if you want more listings, I definitely recommend that you get into the mastermind group and you see what everybody is talking about, okay? But I'm going to go here to a property on my listings page, and it's an open house. And the reason I'm choosing an open house is that a lot of you would think that to get more listings, there's some specialized tool designed to get listing leads, right? And so you'll be pecking around looking for that. But actually, a lot of the tools that are designed to market your listings are really excellent to capturing listing leads, okay? So the number one tool is the nearby homeowner letter. And this home that we're looking at right now isn't actually an open house, but it's updated to any status. You can use this just listed. You could use it coming soon, open house, pending, or even sold, right? A lot of our clients like to use this letter twice for every listing, like just listed and just sold, or open house and sold, whatever you have time for. But let's just look at one of the versions. There are three versions. They all have the same kind of technology. They just have a different look, so you can look at what aesthetically you like to use more. And again, this is on the listings page. It's called the nearby homeowner letter. Today, you download it, just like I'm doing right now, and then you print it and you get it in your neighborhood, right? Now, let me just sort of show you what it says. It says, hey, we've got open house 1 to 4. Go to this website right here to find out more about it. But then it says when it's sold, it's going to affect your home value. So if you go to this site, let me just click on it here, you can get your free home value here, right? Now, a lot of you see this page and you might remember that this was a big deal for Facebook ads. Run an ad, say, hey, what is your, Dallas home worth? And have everybody in Dallas who owns a home see this ad. And 4 years ago, you could do that and that was really awesome, but times have changed and you can't do that kind of thing on Facebook. So running an ad on Facebook with a home valuation landing page, it's close to the number, it's the number 2 to the bottom of my list of things to do to get more listing leads. Now, that being said, there are agents who tell me they're still running these ads and they're still getting good leads. But for most of us, this doesn't work very well. But using this landing page to offer a free home value on a print piece of paper like this one, this works incredibly well. So let me speak a little bit more to this. This you can download, it's all formatted. Everything you need is on this piece of paper right now. So you print it, you can print it on your own printer. You can door knock it if you want. You can put it in one of those little boxes and hang it on a sign in front of the homes for sale. A lot of our clients will mail this, right? They're getting lists from Remine or from their MLS or from their lenders. I know Remine has like a score, like, you know, this is the score that they're likely going to sell their home. But either way you do it, some of our clients get a list of homeowners with more than 5 years of home ownership, so they know they've got some equity. They might be thinking of selling them, right? So you mail this letter to them. You get this letter to them one way or another. This, and let me just point it out, I showed you that it's going to drive them to this landing page here. You know, if you run an ad on Facebook with this landing page, hundreds of people will see it. Maybe even dozens will click it, and you might get a whole lot of leads, right, on Facebook. When you drive them to the same page with this piece of paper, you're not going to get dozens or hundreds of people, you know, clicking on it. You're going to get a handful, or you're going to get a dozen. The difference, though, is that this small volume of leads from this piece of paper mailed to the right subset of homeowners is going to convert much faster than any Facebook lead, okay? So if you run an ad on Facebook, yes, you're going to capture, you know, contact information, but it's going to take a long time to convert. Here, you're going to get, you know, contact information, you know, name, email, and phone number, but it's then going to say, hey, but this is from a small group of people who you targeted directly, you know where they live, and you know that they have equity because that was what you used in your first list, right? So it's just a much better, and you've got to think about this. This, we're using a physical piece of paper. This means that somebody had to open that, they had to, you know, maybe you door knocked it and you left it behind. They had to take that piece of paper into their own home and type in this web address to get their free home value and then give you their information. Very few people are going to do that. Those people are very interested in the value of their home. And that's why those leads are a much higher quality, okay? How about if you don't have a listing in open house? I will show you, Myra, what you do if you don't have a listing, okay? I'm gonna show you that in a moment, but right now we're just concentrating on the side of if you have a listing or even if you borrow a listing. So Myra, you can actually go to the listings page and borrow a listing. So if you're in an office, there's a button up here that says add listing. You can grab active listing and you can drop in the zip code and you can drop in the MLS ID and just grab it and it'll pull it in, and all the tools I'm showing you now are going to be in your account available for you to use, okay? So again, if you're borrowing a listing from somebody, that's the way to do it. But this time, you know, it's an open house and I've got it here. So we showed you the number one tool is a nearby homeowner letter, right? But you might have your own CRM. So there's a tool here that says e-flyer for your database. It looks a lot like that print letter, right? We've got an open house this weekend. You can click on this picture or this link and go find out about that open house. You'll probably become a lead there, a buyer lead there. But then, just like the print letter, it says when that home is sold, it's going to affect your home value, right? So you can copy this code for this by clicking this copy code button and taking it to your CRM and blasting it out. I definitely recommend that you're doing this if you've got a lot of leads in your CRM, like, you know, more than a few hundred or even a few thousand. You want to drop something like this every week, okay? Because people look at your lead, they look at your emails, but you just typically don't have call to actions in your emails. And this one has a bunch of call to actions. So it reactivates those old leads where they're raising their hand as a buyer or a seller, okay? So the e-flyer for the database is another great tool to get listing leads. The homeowner page says use Prospects Plus. What that is, let me show you that, Crystal. So actually, I don't even know if I recommend this because I don't. So Prospect Plus, I'm going to just click on it here. It's a third-party company. It's a print company. And we usually, I don't even know if we should have this right here, because when it comes to postcards and door hangers, which we see down here, you'll notice if you hover over these that it's got the same kind of look. Let me see if I can download this. Meaning it's got on the front side, it says, hey, I've got a home for sale, right? Or I've got an open house, or I sold something, just sold. But on the back side, it says that affected your home value. So go here to get your free home value. Prospects Plus actually will print these at a low cost, door hangers and postcards. I don't know if they, well, they do print letters, but I don't think they stuff envelopes and do the mailing for you. Okay. So I kind of wonder in my own head, like, should that even be there? So I hope you understand what I'm saying there, Crystal. We are, just for your knowledge, for everybody on the call, we're actually working with another company right now, and we're having, you know, where we have their software where you're going to be able to say, look, I want to run this letter from this page right here. You're going to say, I want to run this letter to 200 homes in this zip code. And I want the letters, the envelopes stuffed, and I don't want to touch it. I just want to click a button. I think in Q1 of next year, that's going to be available in the system. Again, if you go into our mastermind group, you're going to see our agents talking about this every month of every year, because it is the #1 tool for getting listing leads. So we've been talking about the nearby homeowner letter, the e-flyer for your database. If you are the lister, if you are the listing agent, I definitely recommend that you use the seller's social media post, okay? And let me make it clear, it's not for your Facebook page, it's for your homeowner's Facebook page, okay? And it says, in this case, we're having an open house, and you at your office is doing a lot of marketing, right? And if I click on this, I'm going to go to a website that we created for you automatically, and it's going to have the details of the home, okay? Now, here's something that a lot of you don't know. This home is an open house, so you would imagine that it's designed to capture listing leads, or I'm sorry, buyer leads, right? That would make sense. It's for sale. But I want to point a couple things out. When you scroll down this page, we offer right up in the middle of the page, what is your home worth? If you keep scrolling down, yeah, you're going to see the map and the brochures and maybe your Zillow reviews if you got them, other listings in your account. And then you're going to see a big old footer, what is your home worth? Now, why in the world would we do that, right? One more thing. I've got a lead link right here that says, what is your home worth, right? Right up here where you control your own lead links. I've got, what is your home worth call to action. When this pops up automatically, it's going to say, you know, click Facebook to learn more. And then it's going to ask, do you own a home? If I say yes, do you need to sell it before buying a home? This gets to the point that I was raising earlier, that marketing your listings when it's time for looking for buyers is actually going to help you get more listings. We do this here on the Single Property website and on our virtual tour because we know what you all know, which is many homeowners are looking in the market for weeks or months long before they want to talk to a realtor. They want to sell their home, but they want to do their own research before they talk to a real estate agent. So if you're using our tools, you're likely going to be able to find out very quickly that they're a homeowner, right? Because we're offering them free home values even when we're talking about an open house. So again, this is coming right off of the tool for the seller social media. So you're getting a lead not from a wide scattershot Facebook ad, but you're gaining it from the sphere of influence from your current clients, almost like a referral, right? They know that you're the agent working with their friend on Facebook. So now if you capture a lead from them, it's a little bit closer to home. Now this one here is a sold property. I'm going to bring us over here because the seller's social media for a sold property is one of the most valuable tools. Let me show you. It says, our home is just sold. and we want to recommend you at your office for doing an excellent job. Here is your phone number and email in front of all my friends and family on Facebook, okay? So this is pretty much a pre-written testimonial that we send to you, the agent, automatically, and you can send it to them and call them for 5 seconds. Hey, would you put that on your wall for me? We just sold your home. I'm really excited, but I appreciate it, right? If you had done this when the home is just listed, then open house, and then sold, and you sold their home, they're going to be pretty excited, right? And if they put this on, all of their friends and family and colleagues on Facebook are going to know it, right? They're going to know you were their realtor. If any of those people click on this, and the only people who's going to click on a sold property are either just super curious or a homeowner, right? When the call to action on a sold property comes up, and this property is sold, notice we're not looking for buyers at all. We're offering a free home value, because we know that only people clicking on sold properties are not people looking to buy homes, but people that own homes. So it's a great time to market sold properties, right? So those are the kinds of tools that are available. There are other tools like virtual tours and blog posts and stuff like that, but these are the core tools that on the listing marketing side you want to focus on. Now, one thing I want to point out is this property is sold, so that's a good time. Let me click on social media post here, and let me click on Facebook ad here. This is a good time to run a Facebook ad if you want listings, okay? So let's talk about that. So Facebook ads, if you're running a home value page, I'm not too excited about that. I don't recommend that too much. But if you're marketing a sold listing, you can do really well here. And let me show you some things. And this is what I'm about to show you is some really brand new technology, like not even more than 2 weeks old. So you choose your sold property. Since you're looking for listing leads, you want to make sure and click advanced options. You want to click create new form, and you want to add this question under form questions. What is your time frame to sell? Okay. And what that means is it's going to automatically get their name, email, and phone number, but it's also going to say what's your time frame to sell? 1 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, or more than 6 months. If you get a lead that says they want to sell in less than 3 months, you absolutely need to get involved with converting that lead, okay? So that's number one. If you're running ads and you want to get listing leads, definitely ask that question under advanced options of how soon do you need to sell. Now, the other thing you want to think of when you're running a sold ad is, you see this content here. This is, we automatically put this up. We see the listing, we add this, and for some people it works. But for some agents, it doesn't work just boilerplate like that. And you might have information that can make this ad more powerful. So over here in this box that says primary text, whatever I write here is going to show up on the box on the right. So one thing that I hear agents say all the time is this home went into contract in 5 days, right? Or 7 days, or 4 days, right? Like, listing inventory is tight, homes sell quickly. You should be announcing that you went into contract very quickly. If that happened, do it. If it sells for above asking, right? Sold for 10K above asking, you need to say that, because people will talk to you if you're going to get top dollar for their home, right? If we got 8 offers, this is all an incentive for them to talk to you, right? 7 qualified buyers. Still looking, right? I have talked to real estate agents so many times that say, I don't have any more listings. I just sold all my listings. I don't have anything to advertise. This kind of ad is going to get you more listing leads. And this kind of language is going to make people who are really thinking about selling a home, they're going to want to talk to you if you can do any of these things, right? If you can sell something quickly and get top dollar. I've even seen agents say, hey, we sold for 20K above the Zillow estimate, right? That kind of concept. Just makes this ad more punchier, so people are going to click on it. So this is all the things you can do on the listing side, okay? Now let's go over to ad section. And let's talk about what can you do. This is a sold ad, so obviously we can do that. We can do a sold ad from here as well by creating a listing ad and choosing a property that's sold or under contract or pending. Later stage ads, you do that, and you do it the same way. But really what I want to point out is to create a PDF report ad, okay? Now when you click on that, you're gonna see we've got 25 reports for sellers and we got 25 for buyers, okay? But since we're talking about getting listing leads today, let's just focus on the seller reports. And let's say, hey, let's run an ad. We want to do this 12 mistakes to avoid in selling a home, okay? And if you want to look at this yourself, you can actually click this round button and download it. But I'm just going to create the ad, and you type in the location, right? I can just type in Boise, right? Boise, Idaho. And you can expand the radius if you want more people to see it. We put a $50 budget for 7 days. When you're running ads for homeowners, for listing leads, we put a $50 budget. You can change it. I just want to tell you a couple of things of why we set that budget, okay? On average, a home value lead, a home seller lead costs about $5 a lead. A buyer lead costs about $1 a lead. That's on average across the United States today, right? But you all live in different towns, in different states, in different areas, and it's not exactly the same. So I saw somebody this week say that they got like 30-cent buyer leads. And I've seen other people say I got a $1.50 buyer lead, $1.80 buyer leads, right? So I don't know if it's a competition in your market. I don't know how Facebook does it, but they do charge different rates. But so we start at 50 bucks. I would recommend that you start there, and if you feel like you're doing well and you're getting a good amount of leads, you can increase the budget if you want more listing leads. Right. I see a question here, so feel free to ask your questions. Is there a way to capture the address in using a PDF report ad? No, and so that's a good question. When you get this kind of lead, you want to respond and say, hey, I see that you're interested in your home, whatever, the 12 mistakes. And then just respond and say, would you like an instant, would you like me to give you a home value, right? That's where you get in the conversion. I will show you something in just a moment here, Ernst, and I think you're going to recognize this about how to get addresses. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Let's just finish this. So this is designed to get seller leads. So remember, if we're trying to get seller leads, we want to click on advanced options. We want to create a new form, and we want to click form questions, and we want to ask, what is your time frame to sell, right? We definitely want to do that when we're looking for seller leads. Click create a form, and that's going to be part of the form that pops up when people respond, okay? So that's definitely what Ernst is saying is in these ads, we're just getting the name, email, and phone number, and we're getting the answer to the question, when do you got to sell, okay? Now, let's go over to ads again, and let's create the famous landing page ad by clicking create landing page ad of free home values. What is your home worth? And this time, I'm going to say traffic, okay? Now, I'm going to show you how this works. And this is really for Ernst, but it's for all of us to learn, right? When we say traffic, what that means is when somebody sees this ad and they click on it, we're going to drive them to the home valuation landing page, okay? And when they go to the home valuation landing page, the first question we ask is, what is your address? Okay, let me show you what I mean by that. You see, this is the home valuation landing page right here. So when you run an ad for traffic and it looks like this, and they click on it, it points into this. And so the first question is, what's your address? Right? Let's get you that home value. What is your address? They click this, and then it goes to page 2 of this page. And what does page 2 say? Your report is ready, your home value is ready, but give us your email address to get that report, right? And why are you interested? Oh, I'm just thinking about selling. Oh, I need to sell soon, whatever that answer is. And so in this case, in response to Ernst's question, I would have their address. But now you got to ask yourself, well, how many people are going to give me their email address so that I have their address and their email address? What percentage of the people that gave me their address will give me their email address? 10%. So Ernst, if you drive traffic to a home valuation landing page, you're not going to get a lot of contact. You're not even going to get an email address. You're definitely not going to get a phone number. Okay, like 1 out of 100. Yeah, it doesn't work very well. So when I'm showing you to run an ad to use lead forms, it's because I think it's more valuable for you as an agent to have a name, email, and phone number than I think it is for you to have an address. Because how are you going to respond to an address? Now, there are ways to respond to just an address, but I think if you got a name, email, and phone number, you can ask for the address and offer them a free home value. All right, let me get you some comps and let you know what's going on. That's the long answer. I hope you understand that. Thanks for that question, because I think it's helpful for everybody to understand. So back on the ads. Well, let me stop here. Let me say something. Let me just stop here. Let's see. So there's another problem with running this kind of ad, and that is this. So let's say that I live in Lafayette, California, which I do, and I want to run an ad in my town, right? And my home value ad should speak to Lafayette, right? If you try to run a generic, what is your home worth anywhere in the US, it ain't gonna work very well, right? Because home values are different in every county. They're usually fairly different. In my county, homes can sell at 200,000 and they can sell at 10 million, right? So don't send an ad to me talking about, hey, what is your home worth, right? Or what is your county home worth? You got to be talking about my town, and in some cases, you got to be talking about my neighborhood, right? Because if you know my neighborhood or you know my town, then I want to talk to you, right? Does that make sense? And the first problem with Facebook ads is I can't even target the town I'm targeting. I got to overshoot this ad, right? If I type in, let me just show you Lafayette, California, where it is on the map, so that you can see, your first problem when using Facebook for a home value is at a 15-mile radius. Let's give it a second here. Is going to get you way out. You're overshooting, right? It's like you're using a shotgun where you need a rifle approach. This little area in the middle is Lafayette. 15 miles out is Berkeley, it's Alamo, it's all these towns over here. So my ad is just going all over the place, but I need to run an ad that talks about a particular town. So these are just a few of the reasons that Facebook ads with home value ads don't work. Another great reason, and I'm sure many of you know about this, is realtors have been using these ads on Facebook for more than 5 years now. So it's kind of played out. You can't really use that and be effective for high quality listing leads, okay? You're welcome. So that's that section there, that's ads. So what I want you to remember is if you want listings, you should run PDF report ads for sellers, and you should run listing ads for sold properties. Like that's a bare minimum, you should always do that. You should probably do that every week, okay? So that everybody knows that you have information, valuable information for people who want to sell homes. You've got 25 reports here for sellers. You could run one every week and have 6 months of content to get out there. Just run the app, right? Now, so we talked about the listings page, we talked about the ads page. Let's talk about the landing pages. And landing pages, as I said, let me show you. I've got Property Valuation Plus. This is what we call our home valuation landing pages. And I have multiple landing pages for home valuations. You should all have multiple landing pages. It comes free with your account. This one here is Release Valley. Okay. So I mentioned that I live in Lafayette, right? But Release Valley is this little neighborhood in Lafayette. And it's a super expensive, nice little area of Lafayette, right? So if I'm trying to get listings in Release Valley, I cannot be saying, hey, what is your Contra Costa County home worth? Or even what is your Lafayette home worth? Because I don't want to talk to you if you know Lafayette. I want to talk to you if you know Release Valley. Notice this goofy picture I have here, right? Like the swim club. That's because there is only one road that goes into Release Valley from Lafayette. And on that corner is the local swim club. So if you know this swim club, you know Lafayette. And the point of creating a home valuation landing page is to get contact information and addresses of people who you don't know. So why are they going to give that information to you if they don't know you? You have to establish some level of trust. And the easiest way to do that is by saying, I actually know your area, right? And for Release Valley, if you know this, you know Release Valley, right? And I'll just kind of kick this dead horse a little bit longer. You know, I set up the office accounts around the country, right? And when I do that, I do training calls like this. I get the offices up and running. And when I did Coldwell Banker for Summit, New Jersey, their manager called me back later and said, like a month later, he says, hey, you know what? The #1 home value ad for our business is the one with the Summit Diner in the background, right? Now, why would that be? Why would that be? Well, Summit, New Jersey only has 25,000 people in it. And this old diner has been sitting there since like the 50s on Main Street. Again, if you know this diner, you know Summit, New Jersey. And that's why this page for the entire office was the #1 home valuation lead capture, right? Crystal, there is a recall. This call is being recorded. It will be in our mastermind group, okay? And for all of you, you should be in our mastermind group. If you're a client, you should be in our mastermind group. If you're not in our mastermind group, go down here to your support page on the bottom left and just say, please add me to the mastermind group, and they'll get you in there. Yeah, you're welcome, Michael. So back to the landing page section. I'm talking about home valuation landing pages, but again, I'm not telling you to run Facebook ads with it, because again, back to this Release Valley one, this is like a square mile, right? It's like maybe 2 square miles of where this, what covers this geographically. So Facebook is definitely going to overshoot that, and I'm going to be wasting my money and getting bad leads. So why would I make this page? When you create a home valuation landing page, click on edit. And when you click on edit, obviously, you can edit the background picture, which is what I showed you at the first step. But the reason why I want to tell you about this is that if you click on advanced options, there is something that says print marketing. And I think somebody on this call, let me see if I can pull it up. Myra, you asked this question. What if I don't have a listing? Well, this is about a neighborhood, right? So I can download this report, and let's look at it here. So this looks a lot like the home valuation letter, but now it's this letter, and it's only talking about the neighborhood, and it's talking about here are the home sales for last month. Now you should edit it. You can edit it by clicking the pencil right here, which means edit. So just go get the stats from Release Valley, like 50, 30 homes sold last month. The high was here, blah, blah, blah. You don't need to make this super long. People don't really want to read a lot. You're just saying, this is what's going on in your neighborhood. Go here and get your free home value, right? That's what this paper is saying. Does that make sense? Now, if you take that and you dovetail that, like you go find a list of homeowners that have owned their homes for more than 5 years or 7 years or whatever, or if you've got Remind and you can say, I want everybody with a high score that lives in Release Valley, and you mail this to them, you're going to get a small amount of high quality listing leads. You get it, Myra? You see what's going on? So, and I mentioned Remind a couple times. There are other companies, even some of your MLSs will deliver this to you. There are other companies that will give this kind of information of people with equity. Use that list with this, right? Now, those are kinds of the tools that you have available to getting listings. We talked about the landing pages for neighborhoods. We talked about ads for Facebook, and a good way of running ads is PDF reports for sellers. Just click create a PDF report ad, right? And do one for sellers, or create a listing ad for something that's sold, right? And I told you how you had to kind of rework the ad. You had to change the language. Don't use that generic stuff that we auto-populate. Don't forget that I told you if you're looking for seller leads to click advanced options and click create form and add that question, what is your time frame to sell? Right, don't forget that. And then of course, on the listing side, what was the #1 tool I mentioned? Even if you're marketing a listing that's for sale, the #1 tool is the nearby homeowner list. Right, so everybody remembers this. And this call is being recorded, and this call will be in the mastermind group later today. Are there any questions about what I am saying here? Because if there are not, I'm going to get into one other new thing that you all need to be taking advantage of, okay? So are there any questions about what I have shown you here right now? These are the top ways of getting listings. Okay, so I don't see any questions. So let's talk about Facebook ads. And let's talk about some of the new technology that we have made available in the platform that most of you don't even know exists. Okay. How do I use this to drive traffic to my own website? Well, I will show you that, Nina. I don't know. I typically, Nina, don't recommend that any realtor drives traffic to their own website. What is it on your website, Nina, that you want to drive traffic to? And if you don't mind, what is your web address? What's your website address? And let me answer that question. That's a great question. How do I drive traffic to my own website? So thanks, Nina. Let me go there real quickly. What page do you want to drive people to on your website, Nina? Like, what are you looking for by driving people to your own website? Are you looking for listing leads? Because that's the point of this call, right? We're trying to get listing leads, right? But we can certainly ask that. So here's a home valuation page, right? So she has her own home value page embedded on her site. Yeah, I might want to create a page if drive them to my own website. Then I have the AI that I will chat with. Got it. Okay. So she has her own home valuation page right here. And let me just say why I never recommend an agent drive traffic to their own website. Because if your goal is to get people to fill this form out, well, you have all these other things that I can look at, right? I can look at your community. Oh yeah, I'm really into Branchville, right? So now I paid for the click. If somebody clicked that ad and they landed on my page, I now have a distracting website with all kinds of great information. So in a sense, you lose the lead. Whereas a landing page has only one focus. If I want listing leads, what is my home worth, right? That's all you can do. You can't learn about you, Nina. I can't learn about all the other great neighborhoods or all the other great content you have on your website, because a landing page only does one thing. That's why they always outperform real estate websites, because they really have only one function, right?
But let's just talk about create a PDF report ad. And actually, we don't even do that there. So create a listing ad. I could say traffic. Okay. So if I click traffic and I say, oh, I want to market this sold home and I want to create an ad, I can then say, what are my advanced options? So if they see the ad, I could say, I want to drive people to, I don't even know where it is. Oh, so the link is a listing landing page, a single property website, or a luxury property website. So Nina, we don't even create the ability for you to drive an ad to your website. If you want to do that, you can do that right inside of Facebook. Instead of one page though, it's 3 pages. Okay. And I guess that's the answer. We don't really even have that as a function anymore. You know, and I can just tell you, we've been doing this for 11 years. Our goal is to capture leads for our clients, and we're doing everything we can to make that easier and easier. We can even automate ads. I didn't even show you this. Let me show you this just because you kind of raised a question. On the listings page, this is other new technology. I can say, I want to automate ads. I want to turn on this, and I want to automatically run an ad anytime a home is sold, right? I don't even have to touch it, and it's going to get leads. I can say I want a maximum of 10 leads. If you have a lot of listings, it's only going to run 1 ad per listing. If you've only got like 1 listing, you could change it to 2 ads a week or something. And you can maximize your budget to whatever, right? So that's but on seller leads, we run $50 ads. So if you had 4 ads, if you said, hey, I want, maximum, if I've only got 1 listing, it's only going to run 1 ad a week. And that would be $200 budget, right? But you can set your max budget here, right? So that's, if you want to run leads or ads and drive it to your traffic, you don't want to, if you want to run an ad and send the traffic to your website, you can do that inside of Facebook. You can't do it inside listings to leads anymore, okay? I got a couple questions here. How about Facebook ads awareness? What does that mean? Is that a type of ad, Myra? An awareness ad? It's funny because Facebook changes so much. I'd never heard of an awareness ad yet. Awareness ads, that's funny. It's probably what they used to call impressions. Maybe they just changed the name. An awareness ad is usually, you see this here, it says coming soon ad, and it's sponsored by, let me see if I can let you talk. Give me a second, Myra. Give me a second. When you run an awareness ad, and I'm just saying this, let's see. You are unmuted, Myra. You want to try and talk?
One thing that I learned is that if you start doing awareness, so people get to know who you are. It's like asking somebody, like when you run those ads to get leads, you are asking somebody that doesn't know you to marry you. But if you run the awareness and they click on your ad, then later on you can get them to be like part of your part of a list that already liked your content.
Got it. Okay.
And that way you can go back to these people and you can run ads to them, and that's a way to get an audience. I just learned that.
That's cool. That's cool. I don't know if I would recommend that, but we'll talk about that. So thanks, Myra.
Okay.
I'm gonna mute you here. So that's interesting, but we kind of do it a different way. And again, we do it from a perspective of we want to capture leads, right? And Vicki, I do see your question. I'm going to answer this question. I'm going to get to it. So when we run an ad, it's typically lead ads. And we do that because we get name, mail, and phone number auto-populated, right? And one thing that I was about to show you guys is, and this has to do more with Facebook, is that you can retarget. So Myra was just talking about a custom audience, and many of you don't even know what a custom audience is. But when I run an ad, I can click retarget. And if you turn on retargeting and listings to leads, that means that we create a custom audience with all of your leads. So Myra, even if you use a print flyer and you go door knock and you capture leads with that print flyer, we're going to create a custom audience. This one's called my L2L buyer and seller audience. And we're going to put every lead you capture in our system in that file in your business page of Facebook. And that means if you ever cancel with us, your leads stay in your Facebook account and you can retarget those all the time. Do you understand that one, Myra? You hear what I'm saying? So it's kind of a different way of getting to the same point. What you're saying is run an awareness ad because they don't know me. For us, when we run an ad, your money only gets spent if people click on the ad. If they click on the ad, you're getting the contact information. So if I spend $35 on an ad, I'm probably going to get around 30, 35 leads with phone number and email, okay? And those leads are going to be added, if I turn on retargeting and listings to leads, they're going to be added to my custom audience, and I can now run every ad that I run, I'm going to stay in front of them. To me, that's a kind of a better way. Okay, I hope that makes sense to you, Mike. So I have another question here from Vicky. Let's see, if you wanted to drive people to your website, could you use these landing pages to capture listing leads, then add them to your database and begin content? Yes, you can, yeah. This seems more effective than just purely grab the lead. Yeah, so that's kind of what people do with our leads, right? They capture the lead and then they put them in their drip campaign. I mean, I didn't mention that because that's not, we have a call that's getting started, right? And getting started, we talk about how do you set up your account, right? If you go to our mastermind group, you'll see my get started call from last week, right? And there is a tab that says CRM integration. You capture the lead, you drop it in your CRM, and now you start dripping on them and you reach out with high content, high valuable content, right? That's typically what our clients want. Our clients really love leads with phone numbers, right? And in Facebook, a lot of people you need your email and phone number in your profile just to access your account. So those, on average, the phone numbers, 75% are all correct. So our clients really appreciate having leads with phone numbers, and that's what I want to make sure everybody understands. That's what lead ads does. Then if you go to your profile and you connect your CRM, well then yeah, you can now do a drip campaign. You can reach out to them in multiple ways. You can even text them because you have their phone number, right? And you can say, hey, I see you responding, can I help you, blah, blah, blah. People will respond a lot faster to a text message because you're not calling them and they don't know you. And they'll respond faster to a text than they will via an email, right? And definitely a lot faster than they will to a phone call if they don't know you. So that's really why we do it the way that we're doing it, right? So what we were over there talking about was retargeting. So let me talk about retargeting and how to turn it on. And then I'm gonna, do we connect to KV Core? We do. I think you gotta use, if you go to the CRM section, I think you gotta use Zapier or Zapier to make that connection. We have a lot of clients that use KV Core, Myra, and that's where you would do that. So when you come to the ads page the first time, you see this box that says ads synced to Facebook an hour ago. There's a yellow box, and that box will say accept the custom terms agreements from Facebook. Click that, accept it, come back here and refresh this page, and then this box will say turn on retargeting. And when you turn on retargeting, click yes, you want to turn it on. That means any ad that you run, whether it's a PDF report ad, a landing page ad, or a listing ad, you can now retarget. I'm going to do how to negotiate on selling a home. You can now say, hey, I want all my old leads. I'm going to turn on retargeting, and I want to use all my old leads, whether they were buyers or sellers, right? You need to do this. All of you need to use retargeting if you want to convert leads, okay? We've been doing this for 11 years. We definitely know how to capture leads. I've got clients generating hundreds of leads every week. Okay. But if you want to convert them, you need to get more inventive, right? How are they generating leads every week? They're using all the tools I've just shown you here. They're using them consistently every week. If you're a client that uses one tool a month, you're not going to generate hundreds of leads a week. If you're a client that uses, 4 or 5 of our tools every week, you're going to generate hundreds of leads every week. It's just how it is. These tools are very effective. But when you want to convert them, you've got to have either a really strong drip campaign, a lot of technology, but also retarget your ads, because you need to stay in front of leads for them to actually do a transaction with you, okay? Crystal, you're using KV Core as well. For both Myra and Crystal, or anybody on this call using KV Core, go to our support tab. It's down here in the bottom left, and just say, hey, how do I connect KV Core? There are instructions to help you do that, okay? Yeah, cool, okay. I use an email link through KV Core. So Crystal says, I use an email link through KV Core. Got it. Okay, got it. Okay. So yeah, in your emails, in your drip campaigns, you can have links to your website, right? And that's a smart thing to do. Then you're letting them know, hey, here's all the other information I provide. But if you're capturing leads from Facebook, you kind of know that those people are on Facebook. Retargeting is where they're hanging out. Maybe they're not hanging out looking at all the emails. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I get hundreds of emails every day. Do I look at every email? No, I do not. Do I look at Facebook every day? Yes, I do. What do you think your target market's doing? Maybe they're reading their emails all day, and email is an awesome place to be, right? But if they're on Facebook, the average US adult is on Facebook 40 minutes every day in the United States. So that's why I recommend using retargeting. So everybody, I want to remind you, this call is going to be in our mastermind group later today, okay? And I think, Myra, you're asking, how are you generating leads? Look in this group here, because everybody is talking about all the leads that they're running, right? All the ways that they're capturing leads, they're talking about it here. You'll also see Scott and myself talk about what is coming down the pipe, the new technology that we're pushing. This person here is saying like all the leads they're getting. You're just going to be hearing how people capture leads all the time in this mastermind group. And you'll also see my recorded webinars. So everybody, thanks so much. Do you have any other questions that I can answer for you right now? Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome. Well, everybody, keep safe out there. I will remind you of this. I know that it's the holiday season, and I know that a lot of realtors like to take the winter off. That means your lead gen cost is going to drop on Facebook. And it also means that you can capture, I know this from experience, a lot of our clients do the best lead gen in the holidays because their competition's just taking a nap and drinking, eggnog. Use this time to get in front of the market. It's when everybody's on holiday. They're not working, 24/7 now. They're going to be taking time off. It's a great time for lead gen. Definitely get in our mastermind group if you're not there. If you don't have your CRM connected, connect it. Turn on your social media auto posting and use these tools. The tools that I showed you today will generate you a lot of leads. All the tools that I mentioned, be using them consistently and you'll get there. Let's see if I have other questions. Okay, that's it, everybody. Take it easy. Enjoy the holidays if I don't see you before then. Thanks so much, everybody. Bye-bye.